two slot receivers on the same field, that's like trying to fit two quarterbacks in one huddle. Some coaches swear it's genius, others call it a recipe for disaster. But here's where it gets controversial. The Seahawks are about to test that exact theory when they trot out Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith-Njigba together for the first time on Friday night against the Kansas City Chiefs. And if you think one of them has to move outside, think again. Seattle's coaching staff is quietly hinting they might both stay inside, creating a matchup nightmare that could redefine what a slot even means in 2025. First, let's clear the air on why this pairing feels so strange. Kupp has spent most of his career winning from the slot, using elite route tempo and body control to turn short catches into chunk gains. JSN, meanwhile, was labeled a slot-only prospect coming out of Ohio State, a tag that's stuck to him like gum on a shoe. On paper, that overlap screams redundancy. But dig deeper, and you'll see why offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb is grinning like a kid who just found an extra cookie. The secret sauce is versatility, something JSN has flashed all summer but hasn't fully unleashed in games yet. At Ohio State, he lined up in the backfield, out wide, and even as an inline tight end in certain packages. Grubb has borrowed those concepts, motioning Smith-Njigba into stacks, bunches, and even as a de facto fullback in split-zone looks. That means Kupp can still own the traditional slot, while JSN morphs into whatever the defense isn't prepared for. Picture this. Kupp runs a whip route from the slot. JSN motions into the backfield and leaks out on a wheel. And suddenly the nickel corner has to choose between covering a Hall of Fame technician or a 4.4 speed jitterbug with fresh legs. Good luck. And this is the part most people miss. Seattle's new offense isn't built on rigid positions. It's built on matchups. Grubb wants defenses to declare coverage before the snap. Then he'll shift both receivers into the same area to create a 2-on-1 against the nearest defender. If the defense stays in base, Kupp eats the linebacker alive. If they spin to nickel, JSN torches the safety. Either way, someone's open. But let's not gloss over the elephant in the room, usage rate. There's only one football, and both guys thrive on volume. Kupp's target share in LA regularly hovered around 30%. JSN, still on his rookie deal, is hungry to prove he's more than a third option. Could ego creep in? Absolutely. Could we see subtle body language on the sideline if one guy goes 3 drives without a touch? You bet. That's the drama Seattle's locker room has avoided so far. And it's why Mike McDonald's culture-first approach might be the X factor no stat sheet captures. Speaking of culture, the ripple effects are already showing up elsewhere. Defensive backs spent Tuesday picking the brains of Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor, two legends who never met a route they couldn't diagnose pre-snap. Imagine being a rookie corner like Devin Witherspoon, hearing Sherman explain how he baited Matthew Stafford into a pick six by disguising coverage for exactly 1.8 seconds. That's free PhD-level education, and it's happening in August. Meanwhile, Quinton Bohanna's transformation under McDonald deserves its own documentary. The nose tackle dropped 15 pounds, learned to play 3-tech, and is now rotating behind a line that includes 3 former first-round picks. If that sounds like a demotion, think again. Bohanna's snap count is up because Seattle can now deploy him in NASCAR packages on 3rd down. Translation: the big man might sack Patrick Mahomes while lined up as an edge rusher. Try explaining that to your fantasy league. Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton summed up camp best on Seattle sports. No drama, no divas, just football. It's a sentence that would have felt alien during the Russell Wilson era, when every practice carried the weight of a presidential briefing. Now, the loudest noise is Geno Smith humming RB between reps. But let's circle back to the lightning rod, Kupp and JSN. Some analysts argue one of them must become a de facto outside receiver, pointing to Kupp's 2019 season, when he lined up wide 40% of the time. Others insist Seattle's offense is too smart to force square pegs into round holes. Here's the spicy take. What if both stay inside, and the Seahawks simply run 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, to widen the defense? That would leave the slot as the softest spot on the field, and both receivers could feast on linebackers, forced to cover grass they've never seen before. So, As you settle in for Friday's preseason dress rehearsal, watch more than the stat line. Watch how often Kupp and JSN motion pre-snap. Watch if defenses spin their safeties to bracket one, leaving the other in single coverage. And most importantly, watch the body language. Because if these two alpha dogs figure out how to share the sandbox, the NFC West might need earthquake insurance. Now, over to you. Is stacking two elite slot receivers brilliant innovation or tactical overkill? Would you rather see JSN stretch the field outside, or keep both guys inside to create mismatches? Drop your hottest take below. Just be ready to defend it, because the debate is about to get louder than a 12th man touchdown roar.